The Kowalski farm had been in the family for 4 generations, 160 acres of Iowa corn and soybeans. The red barn that Stanley's grandfather built in 1924. The farmhouse where Stanley raised his 3 children. At 79, Stanley still drove the tractor every spring, still checked the fences every morning, still made decisions about planting and harvest. "I'll die on this land," he'd tell his son Paul, "just like my father did. Just like my father did." But Alzheimer's doesn't care about family traditions. The diagnosis came on a cold February morning. Early stages, the doctor said. Maybe 5 good years left. Stanley was devastated but determined. "I want to stay on the farm as long as possible. This is my home." For 2 years, Stanley managed with help from Paul and his daughter Marie. They hired a part-time caregiver, installed safety rails in the bathroom, set up medication reminders. Stanley was happy. The farm was his anchor in the confusion. But Alzheimer's is progressive. By year 3, Stanley was wandering at night, forgetting to turn off the stove, getting lost in his own barn. The caregiver recommended memory care. "He needs 24-hour supervision now. It's not safe for him to live alone anymore." Paul and Mari toured Sunset Manor, a beautiful facility with specialized Alzheimer's care. $8,500 per month, over $100,000 per year. Stanley's Social Security and small pension totaled $2,400 monthly. The family would need to cover $6,100 every month. The farm was worth $1.20 million. Stanley had $180,000 in savings, plenty of money to pay for care. But liquidating the farm meant destroying 4 generations of family legacy. Paul consulted an elder law attorney. "You should have planned for this 5 years ago," the lawyer said. "Medicaid has a 5-year look-back period. Any asset transfers within 5 years are penalized." The attorney explained their options. They could spend down Stanley's assets until he qualified for Medicaid. The house, the land, the savings, everything would have to go. Or they could pay privately for several years, then apply for Medicaid once the money ran out. Either way, the farm would be lost. "What if we transfer the farm to Paul now?" Marie asked. "Too late," the attorney replied. "The look-back period means Medicaid will penalize that transfer. Your father would be ineligible for benefits for years. The family chose to pay privately. They sold 80 acres to a development company for $600,000. Used that money to pay for Stanley's care. Stanley lived in memory care for 4 years. The care was excellent. He was safe, comfortable, well-fed. But the cost was devastating. $8,500 per month for 48 months. $408,000 in total care costs. When the development money ran out, they sold the remaining 80 acres. Another $600,000. Stanley passed away peacefully at age 86, 7 years after his diagnosis. The farm that had supported 4 generations was gone, sold to pay for care that Medicaid could have covered. If only they had planned ahead. Paul and Marie inherited the farmhouse and 3 acres. Everything else was gone. The red barn was demolished for a shopping center. The fields where Stanley taught his children to drive became a subdivision. The Kowalski family farming legacy ended with a nursing home bill. After the funeral, Paul found a folder in Stanley's desk. Articles about Medicaid planning. Brochures about long-term care insurance. A business card from an elder law attorney. Stanley had known this day might come. He'd gathered information about planning, but he never acted on it. "I'll worry about that when I'm older," he'd told Marie. At 79, Stanley thought he was older, but for Medicaid planning, he was already too late. The 5-year look-back period meant the window had closed. If you own significant assets and you're over 65, listen carefully. Long-term care costs can consume a lifetime of savings in just a few years. Medicaid will pay for care, but only after you've spent nearly everything. The 5-year look-back period means you must plan well in advance. Consider long-term care insurance while you're healthy. Explore Medicaid planning strategies with an elder law attorney. Look into asset protection trusts before you need them. Don't wait until diagnosis to start planning. By then, it may be too late to save what you've built. Plan for care costs while you are healthy. Protect your legacy before you need protection, before you die.